Alzarez against José Miguel Cotto. You see,
as he said when we asked him at the meeting why he didn't have a longer amateur career, he said there's not a good amateur program in Mexico. You can land again if you can try to get to the man while he's still hurt.
It was a left hook that wobbled him. Alvarez is...
Who knows how long he can hold that weight.
Uppercut by...
His way out of the ring, so that speaks well of looking for the next Mexican or Mexican-American star, because there is so much. And here is a kid who has been picked out to watch.
Instead of more to the center is a perfect example. Every time he jabs, he draws his right hand to the side. He didn't power, then that's going to probably neutralize that.
Whereas Cotto has to keep driving forward.
Alvarez is very comfortable. A little extra weight on Cotto right now that he shouldn't have. Train totally separate, go past each other, never interfere with each other's training.
Good counter right hand. Other weight classes, but the bottom line is that there's an open. So far, Alvarez emerges as the most likely candidate to assume that position. That was something of a comeback rally, and now they're giving and taking in round number 3. What Jose Cotto is doing is following
him as he comes in. See there, same thing again.
But he steps back.
Round 4.
2 rounds to 1. 29-27. Saul Canelo Álvarez. Jim.
Harold for your sharp eyes. Good uppercut.
5-punch combination.
If Cotto could just get a little bit closer and close the gap, everything that he's doing is just a little too short.
Alvarez is still having recovered from the shock of getting hurt by Cotto in round 1. He's trying to load it up a little more. Right there. He wasn't just tapping it. He was landing shots.
At the same time, Cotto kept coming.
Followed him around and letting him recharge without attacking him.
With that uppercut provided by Jose Miguel. The arrival of Muhammad Ali here. Not a frequent visitor to him. Cotto threw 51, but didn't land as many, only getting 11 to find the target.
I should add Jeff's failure of a drug testing, that he would remind everybody that Mayweather has used painkillers for his hands, which he did in some early hands.
Well, as almost every boxing fan now knows, Shane Mosley dabbled with performance, exactly what he was doing, and that he had been fooled into taking performance-enhancing drugs, and by grand jury testimony and depositions to come clean and acknowledge that he had taken both steroids, and that was what Nassim Richardson was responding to when he said, we're going to talk about your hand.
Those drugs, but that he was unaware that they were.
And of course, the proof of the pudding on De La Hoya's.
And what's always been interesting to me in their first fight and in the second fight, when he looked like
left hook by Alvarez. I think what's emerging here, Emmanuel, what we're seeing from this 19-year-old, great timing for when to deliver the shots.
And what I see is great poise.
And he's hurting Cotto with those right hands and the clean shots.
Cotto's got a great chin too. He's never been seriously hurt in this whole fight. And it's been with that. I mean, I think Floyd definitely should be the favorite, but I just don't. Very good.
Shane says that he brings no real emotional response to the
person. As a matter of fact, the action when the fight took place, Tommy Hearns was the favorite, and Hearns was the favorite when it finished up.
Amazing.
Yeah, great. The fact that
good hard right hand by Alvarez. Once again, the timing decision like that.
Blocking a lot of punches. A lot of Alvarez's punches haven't been that clean as much as it seems, but when he has landed good punches, Cotto is coming right back, so he's had a real test tonight.
Fighting a strong young welterweight when he himself is a junior welterweight.
But I think he's had a long time off. I'm not sure, but I think it's been.
He was largely inactive in 07, 08, and that's what gives him rest.
But Alvarez is very sharp, very crisp, and punching with full authority and crispness.
Of round number 5, and now as the last minute of round 6 arrives, he heats it up, keeps his stamina all the way through a 3-minute round, and uses the last.
You know, it shows up at 19 and 20, doesn't it, Emmanuel?
Yes, it does. And I like the fact that he doesn't have that type of an amateur background in it, but he's a very well-schooled fighter.
Cotto for a couple of fights. Power shots in round 6. Alvarez 15 out of 41. This is a solid effort by Jose Miguel Cotto, but he's getting drowned by the
54, Canelo Álvarez. Boy, I tell you, Jim, this kid may only be 19 years old, but only takes a very, very good punch. You know, otherwise he would have been out of there. Canelo Álvarez Jr., I mean, he is terrific coming off those ropes. 5-1, Álvarez.
And way up.
Well, we're going to see now in these late rounds how sure over the course of a 10-round fight.
Body shot, well delivered. So Emmanuel, is Miguel Cotto?
Sure.
Want to say hello to your new fighter? Well, he's got a big assignment against Yuri Foreman on June 5, and for those who've not seen Yumi
Punches very well schooled fighter.
on the other compared to your guy, right?
Yeah, but the guys that Foreman has fought, the guys that nobody have knocked out neither.
Are you talking on?
Respect for Yuri Foreman. Me and Miguel, the whole camp does.
It's the best place in the world to be this long.
Now, Mayweather-Mosley was made. Some of you may remember, September 19, 21 months in, quote, retirement against Juan Manuel Marquez, and immediately after, obviously, Floyd Mayweather motioned Shane Mosley over to be a part of that, but then that seemed to cause the confusion in the ring. One thing led to another, however, when they negotiate down over the issue of drug testing, Shane stepped up and said, hey, I'll take any test.
About that, and how it might relate to the fight itself. Just won a fight, looked terrific in a one-sided fight, and Mosley did. Is that what's going to happen tonight?
And throwing 80, highest numbers of the fight in both categories for Cotto. They did with the same kind of impact and precision that Alvarez shows when he lands his punches.
He's really taken Alvarez to school tonight in terms of getting experience. And the only person that's been hurt has been Alvarez himself in the fight.
Do you think that at 140 weights?
Yes, I am very impressed tonight, just considering the fact that I know he's about 10 pounds. Terrific shots from Alvarez, and it's still coming back and is very relaxed. Doesn't even seem to be.
Almost clinical Alvarez is here.
You don't expect to use clinical as an adjective for a 19-year-old fighter. When Alvarez went 4 straight fights in Mexico against opponents whose names we don't know, but the 4th one was from, 10, 15 years ago. We had seen him in some lesser fights.
And he was 17 at the
rounds. So he says, I decided to dispense with knocking people out for a few fights.
Over the shoulders, counting, punching, pulling back, and counting with hooks, uppercuts. Stop. And not wasting any punch.
Fight. It's just a wild guess on my part.
It's not a wild guess.
Wrapped a hand before. Got out of 80 in that round. Those are exactly the numbers that Cotto had in the preceding round. Cotto was only 6-0, dominating the round, landing 24 of 43 power shots.
But I think you've wrapped a few shows.
Yes, and I'll probably wrap this. Settled into the notion that he's going to be going the distance here with Jose Miguel Cotto, so at this point.
I just think he's trying to win the fight. If the knockout comes, it comes. But he's certainly not trying to sit on it.
I don't think there's any reason to say is less than what was billed. I think this is
smart. And if they're ever over the top.
Tremendous quickness on that right hand. And Cotto seems to be buzzed. Cotto keeping his hands up. Not really getting right hand shots. Tony Weeks looking. Jose Miguel Cotto to take.
Cotto's got to start punching back.
But without any velocity, Alvarez is teeing off and took his mind working as he watched and waited and finally saw the moment. Knockout officially. He says again, he closed the show landing 38 out of 62 power shots. Alvarez's dominance. Remember, in case you missed it, he was in trouble in the first round. I thought he was down.